is the dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call the twilight zone. This is the dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call the twilight zone. This is the dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call the twilight zone.
What's up, y'all? What's up? Oh, yeah, I'm surprised. I'm fucking surprised. Good job. Good job. Good job. God damn it. I'm fucking surprised. I'm surprised. Half of the city of Memphis is fucking surprised. But we got it. It was a split decision, though, y'all. I don't know if y'all know that. It was a split decision. So Pika Am Sunday. I know nonsense is coming. Tiki, hey, how y'all doing? They were convicted. And I'm proud of the jury. Because it really could have went either way. It really could have. It could have went either way. Pika, I already know. I know this. This is. I know, because that's what me and my mama was just saying. I told her straight up. I said, "Mama, you know good and damn well, like I know, if it would have been white cops, this shit wouldn't even made it to trial. It wouldn't have. I'm just being honest. It wouldn't have. They would have found a reason and would have threw out that qualified immunity bullshit, and it would have been the end of the fucking story. But yes, we got a conviction, all three. It was a split decision though, so just FYI, I'm proud because from the folks that I've talked to, first of all, today has been one hell of a fucking day. I've really been irritated all day, and I really didn't want to go live, but I couldn't not go live about this, especially since I've been covering this every day and I've been talking about it every day, so I had to go live on it. Today has been a hell of a day, though. It really has. And Pika, they still haven't done that. They made sure to transfer that other bullshit over, but they still haven't put that in there. So, but we got a conviction. It's a mixed verdict for the 3 Memphis officers convicted in Tyre Nichols' fatal beating. The credit goes to, who is this? Index Journal. 3 former MPD officers were convicted Thursday in the 2023 fatal beating of Tyre Nichols, but were acquitted of the harshest charges they face for a death that sparked national protests and calls for broad changes in policing. So just FYI, they did not get convicted on every charge, but they did get a conviction. Yes, it's a split. That's why I said they didn't get convicted on everything that they should have. They didn't. They skated by with that. But what I do have hope for is them motherfuckers still got to face them state charges, which is the 2nd-degree murder charge. They still got to face that. which is going to happen next. Because they said after the Fed trial, then they were going to do the state trial, and they also still have the lawsuit against them, MPD, and the city of Memphis. Jurors deliberated for about 6 hours before coming back with a mixed verdict for Tadarius Bean, Demetrius Haley, and Justin Smith. All of them were convicted of witness tampering related to the cover-up of the beating, but Bean and Smith were acquitted of civil rights charges. Haley was acquitted of violating Nichols' civil rights causing death, but convicted of the lesser charge of violating his civil rights causing bodily injury. Now, y'all see, it's still some fuckery in this. So y'all see this, right? Just because they're convicted, they didn't get convicted on the harshest charges. And I think those carry a maximum up to 20 years, I think. And they're not going to get the max on that. They're not. They're not. I'm just going to be honest. They're not. Now everybody's texting me. You see the verdict? You see? Now, like my phone has been blowing the fuck up today. The judge ordered the officers to be taken into custody. He planned to hold a hearing Monday to hear the defense lawyers about releasing them pending sentencing. The witness tampering charges carry possible sentence up to 20 years in prison. The civil rights charges against Nichols, or the civil rights charge against Nichols carries, that's so wrong. You mean the other way around? Yeah, y'all wrote this shit horrible. I think they mean Haley ass. Yeah, not Nichols. Nichols is gone. The civil rights charge against Haley carries up to 10 years in prison. They have faced up to life in prison if convicted on the harshest charges. Rodney Wells, Nichols' stepfather, told the Associated Press outside the courtroom, "A win is a win. They're all going to jail." 5 officers were charged in Tyre Nichols' death, but 2 pleaded guilty and testified against members of their old crime suppression unit, eliminating any defense strategy that would have relied on them sticking together. Jurors repeatedly watched graphic clips from the police video that showed officers punch and kick Nichols and hit him with a police baton just steps away from his home, as the 29-year-old called out for his mother. That's why I told y'all, don't get too excited. I mean, it's a win, but at the same time, it's not anything to get excited about. I'm going to be honest, it's not. Yes, it's a win, but they should have been convicted. They should have been convicted on the civil rights. They should have. Prosecutors argued that Nichols was beaten for running from a traffic stop, saying it was a part of a common police practice referred to in officer slang as a street tax or a run tax. They said the officers lied to a supervisor, to medical professionals attending to Nichols, and required written reports about the extent of the force they used. Nichols, who was black, ran from the traffic stop despite being hit with pepper spray and a taser. The 5 officers who were fired after the beating also are black. Once again, if these officers would have been white, this shit wouldn't have made it to trial. It wouldn't have. I'm going to be honest about that. We all know that. People in Memphis know this. If they would have been all white, Tyre would have just been another black man that was killed by officers. Some of the emotional testimony at trial came from one of the officers, Desmond Mills, who took a plea deal in which prosecutors called for up to 15 years in prison. He testified in tears that he was sorry for the beating that he left Nichols' young son fatherless, and that he wishes he stopped the punches. Later, he testified that he went along with the cover-up in hopes that Nichols would survive and the whole thing would blow over. Nichols died January 10th, 2023, 3 days after the beating. His son is now 7 years old. The other officer who reached a plea deal with prosecutors, Emmett Martin, testified that Nichols was helpless while officers pummeled him, and that afterward the officers understood they weren't going to tell on me and I wasn't going to tell on them. Under his plea agreement, prosecutors will suggest a prison sentence up to 40 years. Now, Martin, like I said, your ass, you definitely need to go away for a long time because I feel like you instigated a lot of that. I do. I feel like your ass instigated a lot of that. And then when you realize you were fucked with this trial, you turn around and you took a plea. Your ass should have never been back on the force if you was already seeing red, if you was already mad at somebody else for a fucking accident that had nothing to do with Tyre. Nothing. Nothing at all. But here we are. I feel like he got off light. I do. I feel like he got off light as fuck. Defense attorneys questioned whether the officers were properly trained. They also pointed to Martin, who acknowledged punching and kicking Nichols in the upper torso and head as a principal aggressor. Martin is the one who started all of it. Well, it was Justin fat ass. I'm not Justin, your punk ass. I'll never let you slide for this shit. Justin, your fat bitch ass. If it wasn't for your punk ass, this shit would have never escalated the way it fucking did. But no. You immediately tried to yank him out the fucking car. Then your stupid ass pepper sprayed everybody on the fucking scene except Tyre. You're the reason why. It's called cause and fucking effect, and I still don't understand why his punk ass wasn't charged. If you wouldn't have did what the fuck you did, that man probably still be alive. But no. You had to go take it a fucking step further. And then not only that, on that goddamn camera, I hope they stomp his ass out. Ain't that what you said? I'm not letting that shit go, and I'll never let that shit go. If it wasn't for your motherfucking ass, this shit would have never got to the point it was at. Never. Then your punk ass was able to resign. God knows you probably went over there across the border, down there to Mississippi, Cargillville, Germantown, somewhere over there. Because if it wasn't... Tyre would still be here if it wasn't for your bitch ass. Yeah, he got the completion for the protection. It's funny how this shit work, huh? The police video shows the officers milling about and talking as Nichols struggles with his injuries, and the autopsy report shows he died from blows to the head. The report describes brain injuries and cuts and bruises on his head and other areas. The 5 officers also have been charged with second-degree murder in state court, where they pleaded not guilty, although Mills and Martin are expected to change their pleas. A trial date has not been set for state yet. So sentencing is going to be Monday, I'm assuming. That's what it sounds like to me. And pretty much you're talking about, 10 years and 20 years based on the charges. So, which they're not going to get the max. They're not. I'm being honest. I'm being realistic. I'm just being real. They're not. They're not going to get 20 years. He's not going to get 10 years. They're not. I'll probably say about 5 and maybe 10 for the other 2. They're not. I mean, I just got to be honest about that. They're not going to get the full sentence. They're not gonna do it. At the end of the day, they're on a different level than us compared to us. If it was me and you, yeah, we would get the max. But officers, for some reason, when it comes to them, they get a slap on the goddamn wrist, because I really think this is a slap on the wrist. I really do. They should have been convicted of all charges. All three of them. That's why I said I don't get too excited, because it is a split, which means that we're not going to get the justice that we truly want. We want life. It's not going to happen unless they get convicted of the second-degree murder charge. Now, if they get convicted on that, then absolutely they'll get life. But once again, with feds, they'll probably go to Alabama. Ain't there one in Nashville? Pica, near Nashville, outside of Nashville, Fed prison. I think there's one outside of Nashville. I know about the one in Alabama. I don't think they'll serve time at the penal farm or at 201. I don't. Hell, they're talking about closing 201. Because it's in such bad, dire need of repairs, and the inmates are sleeping with mold, all type of shit. And I'm not saying it's supposed to be a walk in the. I'm not saying that their time served should be. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying, because I was in BJ's chat, BJ Investigates, and we were talking about private prisons, and Pika know I've been hollering this shit for the longest. Private prisons is horrible. The money that's in it, everybody makes money off of it, but very little of that money actually goes back to the facility or to the inmates. And it's the God's honest truth. Well, just look up private prisons. That's why I had made that comment on my community post. Check y'all's 401k. If y'all have active 401k, actually look what your investments are, because I found out one of mine was private prisons. And I was mad as hell. And I had to fight my provider to move it. Well, that's sure money. I don't give a fuck if it generates $1 million for me. I don't want my money in that. I'm all for people serving their time. I'm all for that. But I'm not in the business of making money off of people's pain. I've said that since day one, and I stand on that. I'm not. Move my shit to something else. I don't give a fuck if it's a risk or not to me. It's my goddamn money. So move it. After going back and forth with them for like 2 or 3 months, they finally moved. But I highly suggest people looking at their 401ks and their portfolios and see what your money is going to and the investments, because 9 times out of 10, they will take your money and put it in the private prisons. Yes, a great, excellent return, because, hey, we have the highest incarceration rate in the fucking world. It's a great money maker, but I'm not in the business of that. Hey, Janice. Absolutely, am. Absolutely. I've been hollering it for the longest. They need. I gotta feel, because okay, I told y'all shit. Half of my folks in these streets. When my homegirl got her Fed charge, they shipped her to Alabama. They did. They shipped her down to the complex. In this case, I don't know. Is it gonna be max? And it also depends on the level too of what they get. Like if they get charged on that murder charge, But that's state. It's not Fed. Fed, they probably go to a mid. It was split, Janice. They were convicted of some charges, but the main charge, which was civil rights violation, they were not convicted of that. One, they charged with two of them was charged with basically committing perjury, lying on the reports, and going out their way to cover it up. And then the other one was charged with a civil rights violation, but not the main civil rights violation that would have carried them up to life if they would have got convicted. Yeah, it's not it's good, but it's not. Now, Tyree's family, they consider it as a win, and I'm not knocking them. I'm not, hey, if that's y'all are happy with that, great. I'm not. I'm not. What we saw on that fucking camera, what we saw in those videos, what we saw, that was malice, there was intent, there was all type of shit behind that. So why the fuck they wasn't convicted on all three of those goddamn charges is beyond me. I don't know how the fuck the jury. But then again, if y'all would have looked at my post what was it, Wednesday, Tuesday? It had to been Wednesday. The judge literally spent a whole fucking day of court setting up the rules for the jury during jury deliberation. He literally had everybody. He went to his chambers, dismissed the jurors, all of that, so he can make this long ass list for the jurors of what they could and couldn't do. Because I thought the verdict was, they were supposed to have closing arguments yesterday at 10 o'clock. Closing arguments didn't start until 3 o'clock because he made such a long ass list for the jury. And a part of me wondered what the fuck that I can't wait till this shit gets released. I can't wait because I want to see what the jury instructions was and why it took him all goddamn day to come up with said jury instructions. I do. I want to see it. So what's next? State murder charges still await the three former officers after a jury reached a split decision on federal charges in the beating of Tyre Nichols. The jury in the federal trial began deliberations about 10:15 a.m. Thursday, October 3rd, 2024, and by 4:30 p.m., word came that they had reached a verdict. Tadarius Bean, Justin Smith, Demetrius Haley were all found guilty of obstruction. Bean and Smith were acquitted of civil rights charges for three other counts. Those was the ones, those three charges that they got acquitted of. Those were the ones that was going to send them away for fucking life, that they got acquitted of, that they should have been charged for, that they should have been convicted of. And ain't nobody going to tell me otherwise. Haley was acquitted of violating Nichols' civil rights, causing death, but was found guilty on lesser charges of bodily injury and deprivation of rights resulting in bodily injury for count 1 and 2. He was found guilty on counts 3 and 4, conspiracy to commit obstruction and obstruction. So they basically only got them on the line, them going out their way to cover this shit up. That's what they got him on. But then again, Haley tried. I was blinded. I didn't beat Tyre. I was trying to flush my eyes. That's why he was acquitted. That's the story that he had told. Just saying. All three were taken into custody by the U.S. Marshals after the verdict was read, despite protests by their attorneys. So, surprise, surprise. I thought that's how they go. If you get convicted, your ass go back to jail. Ain't that how that works? Right or wrong? Am I wrong? I thought once they say guilty of this charge and not acquitted of this charge, but you are, come on, get your ass in handcuffs. Let's go. Right or wrong? Because if it be my ass, your ass, or anybody else's ass, Trailer Park Susie, anybody else, we would have been put in handcuffs and they would have took our ass straight to 201. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Don't ask when your goddamn sentencing date is because we don't know. But hey, these motherfuckers and their lawyers, wait, don't send them to jail. Bitch, anybody else in this city would be sent straight back to fucking 201. They're not special. They're not. If you're convicted of a crime, do the motherfucking time. Ain't that what y'all tell us? Is that not the shit y'all tell us? So why he there? I know that's their goddamn job, but why y'all even tried this shit is beyond me. Nope, guilty is guilty. They ass going back. A detention hearing was scheduled for Monday, October 6th. Sentencing was set for January 25. Oh, let me write that down. So Monday, October 6th, we got what's that? Detention hearing, which is Monday, which we're not gonna have access to because it's still gonna be in Fed court. I'm gonna have to wait when they drop the news. And then the sentencing is set for January 22nd. Oh, right before my motherfucking birthday. Make my day. Make my birthday. Please. Of course, I know that's not going to happen because y'all going to try to save these bitches as much as y'all can like y'all did. No, that's what this detention is here for. Monday. To see if they're going to let them out until the state trial, basically. Because their sentencing date isn't until January of 20. Let it be any. I'm sorry how this shit works for cops versus how this shit works for regular folks is beyond me. Yeah, it is. It is beyond me. So Monday we're gonna have a detention hearing to see if they're gonna stay in jail or not. Which me personally, once you've been convicted, your ass need to stay in jail. And we'll give you time credit served. But I know my city. I know how they do fuckery here. That ain't gonna happen. They'll probably be out for Christmas. I hate to say that. They'll probably be out for Christmas, y'all. They'll probably be able to get to spend the holidays with their family. Y'all want to know the truth? That's the God's honest truth. I hate to say that, but rules for thee, but not for me. The former MPD officers now faces charges of second-degree murder in state court. The trial on the state charges was originally set for August 12th, but a judge later agreed to move the state trial to after the Fed trial, and a new date has not been set yet. A reported date is set for October 25th. Now, that's what they're reporting, but that it hasn't been confirmed. Yes, they're felonies, but the issue is one of the ones that they were charged carries 10 years max. The other ones that was charged carries 20 years max. And the way they operate here, I'm going to say the one who's facing 10 years, he'll probably get 2 to 3, 5 at the most. Now, the thing with feds is, y'all know, and I've said it numerous times, there is no time cutting. There is no good behavior. There is no probation. If you get 5 years, you got to serve the full fucking 5. If you get hit with 10, you got to serve the full fucking 10. There is no good behavior, none of that shit with feds. Now, state, yes, you can get good behavior, all of that shit, day for day, time cutting with feds. I mean, with state. And the state hasn't decided if they're going to let us in there either. 2 other former officers pleaded guilty to the federal charges and testified at the federal trial. They're expected to change their pleas on the state charges. They did say not guilty, but the 2 that Martin and the other one that I can't keep their name straight. But Martin, I know for sure, and the other one, the 2 that had already pleaded, they're gonna plead with the state charges. They're not going to. I'm just being honest. They're special compared to us. They are. They're special. What pisses me off with this whole thing is they can claim ignorance of law and get away with the shit, which is probably, I hate to say it, 2 to 3 years, 5 years, 6 years. That ain't shit. To whereas me and you, if we sit here and try to plead ignorance of the law and yada yada, nope, you should know the law. These are the same people that y'all have enforcing the laws that really don't fucking know the laws. They don't. They be making shit up as they go. But when they fuck up, we have so much red tape and so much shit you got to jump through just to get them convicted. First, you got to strip them of their qualified immunity. Then you got to get them, like, there is so much shit to convict a fucking cop. And it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't. Because I can't get that. You can't get that. Pika Sunday nonsense. We can't get that. Even with y'all being white, you still not gonna get that. Because there is that little thin blue line, and it's us versus them. That's how they look at it. I mean, just listen to the testimony that came out with this case. That's literally how they view us. Us versus them. They should be held to a higher standard, but they're not. Emmett Martin pleaded guilty August 2024 to federal charges of using excessive force and failing to intervene. And what's fucked up is he pled. And your fellow officers got off on some of these charges. I mean, I bet they kicking themselves in the ass. The 2 that played, I know they kicking themselves in the ass. I know they are. Nope, I'm not playing with you. Desmond Mills pleaded guilty in early November 2023 to federal charges of excessive force and obstruction of justice. Mulroy previously said Mills also reached a deal with the state to plead guilty to charges of second-degree murder, aggravated kidnapping, and official misconduct. A 15-year sentencing recommendation for Mills covers both federal and state cases. A jury trial for the $550 million lawsuit filed by Nichols' family against the city of Memphis is set for March of 2025. Following the verdict in the federal trial, attorney Ben Crump, who represents the Nichols family, y'all know I don't like his ass, said they plan to go full speed ahead on the civil suit. Go ahead, Ben. I ain't even mad at you. Although I don't like your ass, I ain't even mad at you. Sue their ass. That's the only way the city of Memphis and NPD is gonna learn. When they pay out enough fucking lawsuits, that's when they'll learn. Real shit. Even then, some of them still ain't gonna learn. The 5 officers, all of whom are black, were fired shortly after the beating. 2 other MPD officers were also fired, along with the 3 Memphis Fire Department emergency medical technicians who were fired for failure to render aid to Nichols. See, everybody involved with this, to me, should have been charged on some degree. Between the fire department, MPD officers, the lieutenants, that bitch, and Lieutenant Dwayne Smith, like all of them should have been facing charges. Hey, LFT, I appreciate you. And notice how they keep saying this. I want y'all to listen to this. The 5 officers, all of whom are black, were fired shortly after. They keep pointing out that these folks were black. Like I said, if they would have been white, this shit would have been a different way. We wouldn't even had a trial. We wouldn't have no state trial. We would not be having a Fed trial. We wouldn't even be having a civil lawsuit. It would be justified. Yes, Pika, exactly. They made it a point to point out black officers. If it would have been the other way around, I know for a fact we've seen it numerous times, over and over and over and over. The only motherfucker that didn't get away with their fuckery was Derek Chauvin. And that motherfucker was sitting in court like a deer with a headlights. That's the only way. Everybody else, no. Nope. Ain't no, even with the Rodney King beating, they didn't get this 2 or 3 years, which is what they're probably finna get. I'm not gonna lie. On the Fed trial, they probably is about to get 2 or 3 years max, if that. They are. Now, if the state trial comes through with that 2nd-degree murder charge and they're convicted, but the way it's looking, if they fucking was able to get them off of these goddamn, the harshest charges, which was the civil rights violation, which they should have been convicted on. I'm not letting that shit go. If they would have convicted them on that shit, it'd be different. They would be facing life right now. But nope. Yeah. Oh yeah, Derek Chauvin, his ass been going through. Once they find out his ass is was a police officer, they stuck his ass. They had to move him to a whole nother facility. That's how bad it is for Derek ass. Derek is fucked up out there. He done been stabbed so many goddamn times. They said, from what I heard, they said he's lucky that he didn't have a shit bag. God's honest truth. That's how bad they stuck him in prison. They said he was lucky to not have a shit bag. I am too, with the many times they stuck his ass. Hey, kitty. So where was I? 2 of the other MPD officers were also fired, along with 3 Memphis Fire Department emergency medical technicians who were fired for failing to render aid to Nichols as he struggled with his injuries. All were named as defendants in the civil lawsuit by Nichols' family against the city of Memphis. The 5 former officers who were charged were also a part of the so-called Scorpion Unit, a crime suppression team. Police officials disbanded after Nichols beating. I'm tired of y'all saying that shit because no, you just changed the name. Tell the truth, shame the fucking devil. Tell the fucking truth. Y'all just literally put 2 new units out here that's back harassing folks. Tell the fucking truth. Certain areas you can't even fucking go in because you'll literally see police like 15 of them deep just sitting there. What the fuck are y'all doing? Once somebody gets pulled over, they're 5 fucking deep on one goddamn car. Tell the goddamn truth. Now, I know we got some fuckery going on in this city and our crime rate is at an all-time high. I know that. But the people that they fucking gang up on versus, well, here, let me tell y'all how fucked up it is. Y'all will harass me, threaten to take me to jail over a fucking driving record. But these motherfuckers out here that's actually killing people, these folks that's actually out here shooting up shit, the motherfucker who shot up the club over a goddamn parking spot that was already paid for, that wasn't his, and he shot 3 people, they let that bitch out on a fucking ROR. Meanwhile, they'll ride me. They'll ride me about my driving record, but them motherfuckers out here that's committing murder and shit, hey, we're going to release them on a bond. We're going to give them an RR. Like, that's how fucked up our system is. Like, I can show y'all where one dude was literally let off. He shouldn't have fucking received no fucking RR. He shot 3 goddamn people over a fucking parking spot that wasn't his. These folks were in from out of town trying to enjoy themselves, was from Texas. And he trying to debo his way. Move. I'm finna park there. No, you're not. My son finna park right here. I done paid for this parking because at that certain location, if you wanted to park in the front, you have to pay for that parking. But over there in Central and Midtown, parking is really hard. It is. I'm not gonna lie. Some of those spots over there, either you have to park in the parking lot and walk a fucking mile, or you can pay the VIP price and pay $20 to park in front of the building. And they did. They paid for it. This man comes up trying to debo the goddamn parking spot, ends up getting mad because they won't move, shoots up the whole goddamn parking lot. The other 2 people he shot was innocent bystanders, didn't have shit to do with shit. That's the fuckery we deal with here. The motherfuckers that need to be under the jail, y'all let them out. Y'all let them do whatever the fuck they want to in this city. But people like me who's actually trying to get their shit together, y'all will ride me to death and expect me to come up with 3-4 grand in like, what was it, in a month time? Like, no, I ain't got that laying around. Shit, I don't. Like right now, I got bills declining and shit because I'm just irritated with my bank right now, knowing they done cause some goddamn late fees, all type of shit. But I don't have that laying around just to give y'all all willy nilly. But people like me, y'all will ride about that shit. But these motherfuckers out here that's riding with guns, riding with dope, falling asleep at goddamn red lights with guns and dope in their lap, they'll bomb right out. Like, why they pay a little fine and they right back out here harassing folks? That's how fucked up this city is. nonsense I'll text you about it. They called me this morning and said they were going to close it. I said, okay, great. So you're going to transfer it over to the new account, right? They said, yes, ma'am. Well, they transferred the loan over, but my money's still not in there. It's still in the old account, which I have no access to. So I'm just sitting here fucked because I literally got bills trying to go through today that was declining left and right. And because y'all haven't transferred it to the new account, and I knew if I should have went up there, but listening to her, she's like, no, you ain't got to come up here. We'll do it. They didn't do it. They made sure to transfer their goddamn loan over though and tell me that it's due on the 10th. They made sure to do that, but they ain't put my money in there like they were supposed to. So well, the only reason why I don't go off on them the way, that's my main account. That's the credit union. So, and I mean, they did block the charges, but the issue was now y'all with the shit. So, yep, still saying a zero balance. Yeah. She called me bright and early, like I'm talking about at 8 o'clock. She called me and said, Miss Benjamin, we see your deposit, yada yada. You want us to close the account and transfer it? I was like, yes, please, go ahead. So that means I don't have to come up there, right? Nope, we got it. So it's gonna be in there today, right? Because y'all see I got bills declining left and right because I no longer have that card. Yes, ma'am. It's not in there. It's still in the old account. And I know if I would have went up there, they would have did this shit in 2 minutes. It doesn't take that long for you to transfer money from one account to the other. So I said, if it's not in there in the morning, yep, I'm going in there because y'all done caused me like what 3, 4 late fees now. And numerous phone calls because folks is calling me, where's our money? I'm sorry, I can't help you. Shit. I don't even have access to it. The fuck you want me to do? Yeah, that's exactly like now I got all the goddamn late fees. I got text messages coming left and right talking about you got a $400 payment. I know what the fuck you want me to do. There's nothing I can do. I don't even have access to it unless I physically go up there. I don't have a bank card. I don't have none of that. So because some motherfucker tried to rob me, but I'm sorry, you robbed a broke bitch. You tried to rob a broke bitch. I'm sorry. Um, I don't have 4,000 because they tried. It was like total of 33,000 that they tried to take. Well, that's the thing, and one of them did go through, but then the other two was declined because I didn't have that in the bank. They tried to take $3,000. I'm not gonna lie about it. I'll show y'all the screenshots. Shit, I'll tell y'all I'm a broke bitch. I live paycheck to paycheck. So, and it was a weird amount. They tried to take 891, 13, 17. It was weird. And they had tried to do it like around midnight. They didn't think I was up. And I had saw the transaction, so I immediately shut my card down. And that's when it started declining left and right. Um, and I didn't notice it, but they had tried that past Friday too. And I was at work. I didn't notice it because it was like a charge for like $1 some odd change, like $1.91 at some fucking bookstore. I was at work. So I knew it wasn't me, but I didn't notice it because I was at work. I'm not paying attention to no damn dollar. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't. But that Sunday night going into Monday morning, when they started trying to transfer 891 three damn times, I'm like, what the fuck? And that's when I realized they had been had my shit since Friday. And they tried, and it didn't go through because I keep my card locked. And then that Sunday morning, or going into Monday morning, they had tried, and they had tried 3 other times. And then I had went to the bank that day, and I was like, shut that shit down. They was like, well, it looks like on your card. No, close that whole fucking account. To give me a peace of mind, just close it. I'll start fresh. And so that's what we ended up doing. But my check still had to go to the old account because I have a loan through them. And I was like, that's fine as long as no transactions will come out. And they said, nope, we got it on lockdown. Only thing is money can come in, but it can't go out. It's cool. Say less. I'm not tripping about that because I just don't want them to get access to my check. Well, today they called me this morning. They was like, look, we'll go ahead and transfer everything over, loan, all of that. Shit. They transferred the loan, but they ain't transferred my money. So I'm just sitting here like, what the fuck? And I know if I would have went up there, like it wouldn't have been no all day situation because I've literally transferred money from accounts because I transfer money from my account to my mama's account all the time. That shit is in there in a minute. Like, soon as you transfer it, it posts. Like, the money is there. You can swipe your card and use it. So I know it don't take no fucking 24 hours for that money to go to my account. But apparently that's what they're doing. So, I mean, I'm not mad about it. I'm not upset. It's just, like I said, what I'm mad about, the part I'm mad about is now I'm going to have to pay late fees on all my goddamn bills that I had coming out today. That's what I'm mad about. Bitch, I already living paycheck to paycheck. God damn it. I don't need no goddamn 30, 40, 50. One of my bills, if it's late, it's the fucking $50 late fee. When I saw that shit, I said, oh, hell no. I'm going to hurry up and get you bitches paid off. Nope. I'm not paying no goddamn $50 late fee. See, I don't even use Zelle. That's fucked up, Am. Yeah, I want to hear when I first started working for these folks. It was I've been with this company 10 years though. Now, when I first started working for them, when you change your payroll, they will send out a live check instead of direct depositing it. For a month and a half, I didn't get my check because it was lost in the mail. And I kept telling them, MLG and W do not want to hear that the check is lost in the mail. I need my fucking money. Y'all didn't have to hunt me down to fucking work. So I shouldn't have to hunt y'all down for my motherfucking money. It took them a month to finally stop sending that shit through the United States Postal Service and start FedExing that shit first overnight. Because they were being cheap. But when that shit happened and I went clean the fuck off on our boss about it, and I'm like, hell nah, MLG and W, I got a fucking $400 light bill. They don't give a fuck about the check. They want to know why they're once you get an extension, that's it. You can't call for another one. You can't sit here and say, well, I don't have the money. No. Your shit is getting cut off until you do get the money. Like MLG and W is petty. I've seen them cut motherfuckers off over 5 cents. So I'm like, no, I shouldn't have to go through this shit. Ain't no motherfucking way. So after that, our boss finally started first overnighting them to the job instead of sending them United States Postal Service. No, who the fuck finna wait an additional 7 to 10 days for their damn check? And then come to find out, how about that shit showed up 2 months later, all crinkled and shit? I took it up to the boss. There go that check y'all told me y'all didn't want to cancel or stop. Told y'all that shit was lost in the mail. I didn't have it. Or I would have been cashed that bitch and paid my bills. But now, I mean, I don't have the issue now because hell, I got accounts after accounts. But it took my boss going through this shit for her to finally stop being cheap and saying, all right, I'm a first overnighter. Yeah. Because soon as I walk in this bitch on Friday, my check better be here. And they already knew. Lunchtime, don't contact me. I'm going to the bank. But now they done changed it. So, of course, I got to change all this shit over this pay period. I didn't change it this past one because, like I said, that whole loan and shit. So I didn't change it, but I got to change it now. But I'm like, God damn. Okay. But I'll tell y'all who not to bank with. Do not bank with Regions, First Tennessee. Don't bank with. I've heard horror stories out about Bank of America. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I know with Regions, them motherfuckers are fucked up. They hacked my dad's account at Regions, and they did get money. They got like $1,000 out of his account, and he called them, reported it, lost, stolen, all of that. Regions came back and said, we're not refunding that money because that was you who made those transactions because they had your bank card and you gave them the PIN. Even though they had it on ATM where somebody was wearing a goddamn face mask and all of this shit, they couldn't prove it was my daddy, but they straight up said they were not refunding his money because they said he did it. It wasn't him. Matter of fact, he was in the fucking hospital, damn near dead. God's honest truth. We even provided that to them. Like, no, it couldn't have been him because he was in the hospital. The man had flatlined during surgery, and we didn't know if he was going to make it. And that's how we found out he needed a heart transplant. They still didn't give a fuck. They did not refund his money. So do not bank with them. First Tennessee is fucked up. I was in a class action lawsuit with them. I told y'all about it. They would purposely change the order of your transactions and make it seem like you had this amount in the bank, and you would balance your checkbook and you'd be like, no, I know I got this. But they would purposely hold certain charges for like a week and then let other charges go through. So you're thinking you got this money in the bank. No. And then they would just hit you with overdraft after overdraft after overdraft. They ended up getting a class action lawsuit for that shit because it is illegal. Like, they were holding folks' transactions. If that shit was a debit, it's supposed to come out immediately, but that shit would come out 7 days later or some shit. And they ended up paying a lot of folks because I ended up getting like 2-3 grand back for that. That's how much they had hit me up with overdraft charges. I don't even think we have that here in Nisi. I don't even think we have that bank here. The main one we have here is like Bank of America, First Tennessee. Is it still SunTrust? I want to say SunTrust, Regions, and then our credit unions, which is like Navy Federal or like First Out, which I'm with a credit union because you can do so much more with the credit union versus a regular bank account. That's the only reason why I won't leave my credit union account is because I know I can get a loan through them, and because I've been with them for so long and I have a good loan record with them. So, okay, yep. Acquitted of the harshest, yep. And convicted on, really, to me, the shit that didn't matter if you want to know the truth. Convicted on the harshest and acquitted of the shit that Yeah, I'm finna get off here because I gotta feed them too. So, and I still gotta feed my damn self. It was a split, Jen. They did not get convicted of the civil rights violations, which was going to be the harshest ones, which would have pretty much sentenced them to life. They did not get convicted of that. What they got convicted of was basically lying and trying to cover it up, which is basically one of them is facing 10 years max, which is Haley punk ass, because he claimed I was blinded by the pepper spray. I didn't touch Tyre. So he's facing 10 years. And then the other two are facing up to 20 years. But the way the state of Tennessee works, they'll probably get 5 years, if that. The only good thing about feds is ain't no time cutting, ain't no day for day, ain't no, well, if you do 2.5, you'll get out resting. No, you got to serve them full fucking years, all of them. They were taken into custody today. They'll have a detention hearing Monday to see if they'll be released. I feel like they shouldn't, me personally, because let it be me, let it be Pika, let it be Thor, Nisi, anybody else, any one of us that was out here doing the same shit, we would be behind bars until the sentencing date, which is January 22nd, 2025. We would be behind bars until then, and they would give us credit for time served. But I got a feeling these motherfuckers gonna get out Monday. I just got I don't know why, but I got that feeling they ain't gonna be behind jail long. We do have the Fed trial coming, or the state trial coming up. They are saying that October 25th, possibly, but it hasn't been set in stone with that trial date yet. So that's just the rumblings that's they're hearing in the court, but that hasn't been set. With the state trial, though, that is where the second degree murder charge is at, and that's where they can be sentenced to life. I think my biggest issue is I think we would have got it if that judge didn't spend a whole fucking day making jury instructions. I'm gonna be honest. He spent a whole fucking day. Jen, you saw the article that he spent a whole fucking day making jury instructions, literally. Yesterday at 10 o'clock, they were supposed to start closing the arguments. They did not start closing arguments until 3 p.m. because his ass was in his chambers making up rules for the jury. Crazy as shit. I said, it can't be that many goddamn rules. But apparently there was. And I guess that's how they came to their conclusions with as far as convictions. I feel like if y'all want to know the truth, this is what I think happened, and I'm just being honest, and I know some people may not agree with me. I think they made them guilty of something to satisfy us. If you want to know the truth, I think that's what happened. We're not going to convict them of the harshest charges, but we are going to convict them of something. That way they don't burn this goddamn city down. That's what happened. Bottom line. They brought a conviction to appease the masses. Me personally, it's not enough. Y'all beat a man to death. Y'all purposely went out y'all's way to lie and cover it up. And as what's called said, he just thought it was gonna blow over because they just knew Tyre was gonna survive. Not realizing that they had literally beat him until he was fucking brain dead. So there's not intention behind that. There's not civil rights violations behind that. So I think that's why we got the conviction that we got. I'm not happy about it. I mean, yeah, it is a win. And Tyre parents seem to be happy about it. As they said, a win is a win, or his father did. He said a win is a win. But I know we could have did more. I know we could have nailed their ass to the wall. And we didn't do that. Yeah, I mean, Neb, you're right. It's all smoke and mirrors. Hey, look, we got them convicted of something, y'all, so be happy. No, fuck out of here. You're doing this shit to appease us. No. If you really gave a fuck about, I'm sorry, police brutality, and it ain't even just about a black person, police brutality, and it being your mama, your uncle, or somebody you loved unalive, you would want the max penalties, the max convictions, harshest penalties. That's not going to happen here. And that's what I tried to tell people. Don't expect these folks to serve 20 to life. It's not going to happen. Unless they get charged or unless they get convicted of that second degree murder. And the way this shit just played out, do you think we're going to get that second degree murder? Be honest, be realistic. With the way this shit just played out, do you really think we're going to get that second degree murder conviction? You think? Nisi, that's what I was talking about earlier. Motherfuckers in this city can go shoot somebody and get out on bond the next day or released on a fucking ROR the next day. Literally. I don't, Pico. I'm going to be honest with you. Feds, state, you know how much fuckery the state can do? They're not governed like the feds. The state can do whatever the fuck they want to, and ain't nobody gonna blink an eye, bat an eye. Ain't nobody gonna. State can get away with a lot more shit than the feds. I don't think it's gonna be second degree murder. I don't. Jen, I don't even think it's gonna be manslaughter. I don't think they're going to get. I do not think if they fail to convict these people on the harshest charge of civil rights violations, which what it was. We all saw the video. If you didn't see the video, it was civil rights violation. If they wouldn't convict them on that simple ass charge, because that's simple as fuck to me. If they wouldn't convict them on that charge, I have no faith in the second degree murder. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't. Even with them being black, they already gave them, all right, y'all, now y'all be happy because we done convicted them of something. They're going to serve 5 years, y'all, so be happy. You think they're going to give us a life sentence? Hell no. No. They done already told us, be glad you got what you got. There's your justice. Live, even with the, at this point though, with them 5, I don't give a fuck. I don't. I don't give a fuck about them having humane practices. Like, see, I care, but I know how to turn this switch off real fucking quick when it comes to pieces of shit. Real shit. Them, I ain't gonna say what I'm. No, because I ain't gonna say that. I hope they get locked up in solitary. I'm gonna say that Because, baby, if they go to GP, somebody's going to like making them a bitch. And somebody's going to want that as a stripe on their belt. I shanked up a cop. I mean, that's what they did to Derek. But like I said, I don't think they're going to get 20, 30, 40 years. I don't. I don't think that's going to happen. I think 2 to 3 years max, just to appease us and get us to shut the fuck up, even though half of us have already shut the fuck up and moved on to the next case that can make us a shit ton of money, yada, yada. You know what I'm saying? So, with state, it can go either way. T. Um, it can be televised, but then the judge also has the right for cameras not to be in there. So I prefer it to be televised. Burton, hey, Burton. No, you're right. You're right. I mean, I'm not gonna say I just hate it. I don't hate it. I appreciate that, they did find them guilty of something, god damn it. I'm sorry if they didn't find them guilty of them goddamn charges where they went out they way to lie and all of this shit. I was gonna be mad because we saw it. These motherfuckers literally went out their way to cover this up. Literally. Um But with the civil rights violations and them not being charged on that, which was the harshest penalty or charge for them, that was just a slap in our face. It was. It is. I can't say I'm surprised though. Not with my city and state. I can't. With the way our state is, especially our city, our city is the world's worst about absolving themselves in anything done wrong, like the untested rape kits that we have. Um, we have thousands. There's a backlog of untested rape kits, and I'm talking about years. Okay, years. And there was an accountability system there that was holding them. All right, y'all got to give us an update of how many y'all tested, where we're at with testing, yada yada. There was some accountability there, but then all of a sudden that accountability just disappeared. Now we're back years backlogged. And I'm going to keep saying it. Eliza Fletcher would still be here if they would have tested them fucking rape kits, because good old Cleo ass would have been locked up. And when her family sued and said pretty much the same thing, if y'all would have tested them rape kits, she would still be here. His ass would be back in jail, yada, yada. The city lawyers argued MPD ain't got to investigate. That's not we are not obligated to investigate a motherfucking thing, and they won in court. They won, and that was against a billionaire heiress family. So That's why I said with this city, like me and Nonsense was talking about it today. She was like, "What you think?" I have to be honest. I don't think we're gonna get the justice we want. We want life. They're not gonna see that. Hey, Dutch. And if they did see it, it was out of spite because they are black. Bottom line. Like I said, if it would have been a white officers or white officers, this wouldn't be in the news. This would have been a justified homicide. So they did it for, I truly feel like they did it to appease the masses because how the fuck do you not convict them on the civil rights violation when that's all they did was violate his fucking rights? Yes, yes, Burton. If they would have tested, and when her family went to court about that shit, the city of Memphis, I sent Rabbit that article because I said, you see what the fuck we deal with here? Them motherfuckers said, we're not obligated to investigate a damn thing. And I said, what the fuck? So what the fuck we pay y'all for then? Y'all are police. What the fuck we pay y'all for? For what? If you're not obligated to investigate shit, what the fuck? But then y'all want 15 million extra in taxes from us to pay y'all bullshit overtime. Make it make sense. The politics here is ass backwards. And because there is a struggle here between this city being a blue city and the state being a red state, we get treated like the redheaded stepchilds because, well, we did tell Nashville to go fuck themselves. I'm not gonna lie, we did tell them, all right, you want to fuck us, we gonna fuck y'all right back with no lube. I mean, we did do that. I'm not gonna lie about that. We were petty. We told Nashville go suck our dick, and we elected them folks right back in the office. And after that, Nashville has been gunning for our ass. They have cut funding for damn near everything. Somehow the money that was supposed to revitalize Elvis Presley disappeared. Then now all of a sudden they're talking about giving the money back. They're talking about 201 needs to be shut down because it's inhumane to the prisoners that's there, the inmates that are there. I do know for a fact there is mold in there. 2 of the 6 floors is gone because of the pod fires that they had created down there. I had actually just talked to my brother today. He just got out from down there. He beat some charges. And he was telling me about it down there and how some shit is fucked up. And like I said, I'm all for it. If you did that motherfucking crime, you need to do the time. I'm all for that. They know that. I've told them that. You out here doing dumb shit and being a crash dummy, that's on you. I love you, but that's on you. You damn near 40 years old making the same mistakes. When you gonna grow up? But he was telling me the conditions down there, and it's bad. It's bad at 201. The peanut farm ain't no fucking better. It's not. They got so much drugs going in, and I know just for a fact. I'm not gonna tell y'all how I know, but I know for a fact they got drugs going in and out that bitch like it's motherfucking Mexico and Laredo, Texas. I swear to God. Zeus, I don't know what you're barking at, but leave it alone. It's probably that damn possum. Leave it alone for it tear your ass up like it did last week. Dumbass. Like when I found out that girl sold that damn pound for $1,000, I was so mad I wanted to punch that bitch in her face. Bitch, you shortchanged yourself. A pound of weed for $1,000? Who the fuck got in your head? Cause you a dumb. You a dumb. If I'm gonna risk my damn job, okay, I need racks. A pound of weed in jail? That's 5, 10 grand easy. You come talking about $1,000, bitch. You a dumb bitch. I'ma say it. You dumb. Oh yeah, Kitty Coo. Him and his sister knocked the possum off the fence, chased it through the backyard. I had to get a stick to separate every damn body because I'm like, all right, that possum gonna fuck y'all up, but you don't know. It was just Callie ain't got it all. When I tell y'all she ain't got it all, she ain't got it all. She is a for real huntress. She knocked it off the fence. It was minding its business, doing its own thing, just going down the alleyway in my backyard. And she knocked it off the fence and started chasing it through the damn yard. Yes, they were convicted of the witness tampering. Um, but they were not convicted on the civil rights violations, which was the harshest charges that they should have been convicted on. Kelly don't got it all. I swear, I love her. That's my baby, but she ain't got it all, man. Y'all, that girl will chase wasps, bees, butterflies, crickets, possums, raccoons, dogs. I think if she could, that girl would go against a damn bear or coyote or something bigger than her. Like she's just, I ain't gonna say it. I ain't gonna say it because I know folks get offended with the R word, but she ain't got it all. Homegrown. Look, that's what we call that brickweed, and we don't fuck with it. We'll tell you, it got too many stems in this shit. We don't want it. Oh shit, that that's why I'm the shop with toothpick. But see, in Tennessee, you gotta be careful though, because it's not legal here. You have to be careful because that shit is so illegal. Which is another reason why I don't be out here moving. Fuck that. Hell no. Because they will take you to jail for weed. They are petty. They'll take you to, oh, you got a blunt? Oh, yeah, come on. I'm like, bitch, it's a blunt. Don't chase the goddamn meth heads and crackheads down there. Why are you fucking with me? But that's what they do. It's fucked up here. It's fucked up. I don't know what else to say. Mm. Kitty cool. Look, so for an eighth, I paid. Goddamn, I paid 25. I had motherfuckers arguing me up and down. And that's some babbage ass shit because we pay 50. No, baby, my shit comes straight from Cali or Arkansas. And no, there's been times I've been so goddamn zooted, I just put the shit out. I'm like, I don't, I don't, but then again, I only smoke at night too. I don't smoke all day, every day. Like my friends that do, they be like, hit that bitch, you know, I can't smoke like that. I can't. I do it to relax. I'm not here to be all day. Get it? That sounds like a finesser. Now that's, I mean, Tennesseans are good for that. We will finesse you if we can. Niecy, I'm so used to it. I mean, I don't know. I guess because I've been single for what 4 or 5 years now. I'm just used to. I'm used to being by myself. I don't know how I'll respond getting in another relationship. Honestly, I'm so used to being by myself and doing things my own way and doing it at my own pace, my own time. I don't have to answer to nobody. I don't have to tell nobody where I'm at, things like that. I ain't got to ask, hey, babe, can I spend this? I ain't got to do all that. So I don't know how I would respond to getting back in a relationship. I think there would be some straight adjusting for me. So did you before I get off here, I got because we had talked about it last week. So the judge and the sheriff and him shooting him 8 times because he saw his daughter's phone number in the judge's phone, but they've been best friends for 30 years. Do y'all think there was more at play? Or do you think daddy really overreacted? I think there's more at play. I think daddy found something out. I think daddy found something besides a phone number in the judge's phone. Now, here's the part that's throwing me though. If y'all been friends for 30 years, I wouldn't see that as weird as your daughter, I mean, what if they stayed the night at the judge's? Because the judge had kids too. What if they stayed I don't know. I think there's more shit going on that hasn't been talked about. But they showed the video of him shooting the judge. And I was like, the man shot him two, three, 4 times, I think, kind of walked off and then walked back and shot him another 4 times. He realized when he stopped moving, that's when he was like, I think there's more to it, but they've been hush hush about it. They said that all they revealed at the court hearing um, was that he saw something in the judge's phone that made him react like that. Now, some are saying that the judge did have sexual relations with said 16-year-old. But age of consent is also 16 in Kentucky. Now, do I feel like if he was doing that, was he abusing his authority? Absolutely. Absolutely. I think there's more to it though. I just for him to go out like that. Yes, when I saw this shit on video, and I was surprised that court was it Court TV? I think it was Court. I don't remember. I seen it on one of the channels. I was watching that shit live, the hearing, and when they played that damn video, and I'm sitting here, I'm like, they're putting this shit on YouTube. They put it on YouTube because I sent it to Peek and them. They was like, what the fuck? Yeah, they let that shit play on YouTube. But I know we have been talking about it and speculations and rumors and all of that because a lot of people thought it was grape and yada yada. But they had mentioned in court that daddy or the sheriff saw his daughter's phone number in his phone. Now, what that alludes to, I don't know, but I think he saw something else. Because, like I said, if y'all were best friends for 30 years and y'all had kids, and they were cool and close and stuff. I don't know. Well, I don't have kids, but I would think it would be normal because when I was growing up, I had my friend's mama's number and their daddy's number. Especially if I was staying the night at the house, so my mama could contact it. Like my mama had their number, but my number was in their phone too. So, and it wasn't no weird shit going on. So I don't know. But they did say, that's at least is a possibility. Yeah. Oh yeah, the hearing. Yeah, they posted this shit on Facebook. I mean, not Facebook, YouTube. Because I was shocked. But when I seen him fire four, he kind of walked off. He didn't leave the room. He kind of sidestepped. And I guess the judge moved again. I don't know. But he turned around and came right back and shot him another 4 times. So, it's a possibility. I don't know. I think there's more at play though. For him to just shoot off like that and go off like that, I think it's more at play. That's me personally though, and based on the rumors that was going on in that town. But I don't know. I'm not there, so and I can't state it as fact because it can't be proven. But I do know it was mentioned in court that he had saw her number in the judge's phone. So I don't know. I guess we'll wait till more comes out when the trial's set up. And hey, Donna, and all of that stuff. But Kentucky is like Tennessee. They're just as corrupt, baby. Go to Cold Case Crystal, and the case she been covered with her own family. They covered that shit up. Her own family. Mm. And see, that's another thing. A lot of these cases just go. I seen one today where our news had posted about a cold case, and now it's not that old. It's only 2 years old. But a young father was shot on the E-way, and 2 years later, they still have no leads. They have nothing, nothing. And he had just had a baby. It makes you wonder, though, with all these cameras, all of this shit, and I'm sorry, people will snitch. They will. When you start talking about 10, 20, 30 years in prison, people gonna snitch. Just bottom line. I've seen it numerous times. They gonna snitch. I mean, they're not loyal. That's what me and my brother was talking about. He was like, it's crazy out here because the youngins are turning on the old heads and yada. It's a fucked up cycle, but you have so many unsolved cases and nobody bats an eye. Nobody. Like with my cousin, I still think there was foul play with that. And they're trying to tell us no. I'm sorry. How the fuck do you end up in the back of a car, wrapped up, literally rolled up in a blanket, dead? I don't. And just say, well, it's an OD. And that's another thing. If you're active addiction, that's OD. You can literally have a bullet hole in your head. OD. Like they don't give a fuck about addicts. Well, they don't give a fuck about a lot of people. Look at how they treat the homeless down there in Florida. They're arresting you if you sleep outside. What the fuck? Where are they supposed to go if the shelters are full and if they're getting robbed in the shelters? Because I've heard horror stories about the shelters too. Like, where the fuck are they supposed to go? Yes, Kitty Coo. She was rolled up in a blanket, literally rolled up in a blanket, but they said she OD'd. And we pushed and we pushed, and no, it's an OD. That's what it's going to be. Like, I had an uncle disappear, nothing. Um, we've had murders in my family. My cousin got murdered. Still, nobody found they killed him. Like, it's fucked up. And that's on the white side. That's why I say, man, I've seen shit on both sides of my family. Like, real shit. I've seen some crazy shit down here on both sides of my family, the white side and the black side. My cousin, the OD, or they claim it was the OD, rolled up in the back of the car. She was white. Burden, that's always bothered me. And that's why I be going off on people like Betty punk ass. Like that bitch will always be a fucking slob on a knob, hoe ass bitch. That bitch I will never, ever respect that hoe. The way she talks about our veterans. I had uncles die, literally die for going to war in Vietnam for Agent Orange. My aunt was one of the first widows to successfully sue the United States government because she was able to prove that because of Agent Orange that killed my uncle, he literally had 11 different cancers. He was given 6 months to live. He died in 3. She sued the fuck out of the US government. She won millions. She did. But both my uncles, one of them had 6 different types of cancer, and Uncle Donnie had 11. And the way she talks about veterans, you can tell who's never been punched a day in their life. I'm just going to leave it at that. Yeah, I talk shit about our law enforcement and shit, but I do respect them to a degree. At the end of the day, you got a job to do. And I almost went into the military. The only reason why I didn't go, it was in the height of 9/11, and my mama said no. And she meant that shit. You're not going. And a part of me is glad I didn't, because half of the people that I was supposed to go with didn't make it back. So, no, they wouldn't have what they had without our vets. And I'm sitting here talking about freedom of speech and all of this shit. Yeah, but freedom of speech come with consequences. And I'm so tired of this shit. Freedom of speech, freedom of speech. So it's okay for you to go around and hurt people's feelings, but as soon as somebody do it to your funk ass, it's the end of the world. Fuck out of here, dick sucking ass bitch. I'm not every time I talk about that, I'm a roast. Chili's baby back ribs. Behind the dumpster too. Mm. I would never, and I was a hoe back in my day, but not behind Chili's and not behind the dumpster. Just saying. But since you know I ain't got, I fuck that bitch, man, and I mean that, and I stand on that. That hoe knows she be sneaking in and out this city and shit. Nah, bitch, announce when you come to my city. Please, because I want to talk to your ass face to face. I do. I ain't gonna be on no, I'm gonna beat your. I want to talk to this bitch face to face, and I want her to understand some of the shit she says. And I know it's not gonna change anything because, like I've said previously, these people have been on YouTube for years, longer, way longer than me, and have been doing the same shit for years. Years. And they're still here doing the same shit. Nothing has changed with these folks. You would have thought after Summer Wells, people would have learned and understood. No, it's not okay to sit here and vilify. It's not okay to go real life. It's not okay to call people's jobs the parents' job. No, we're still doing it. I was talking to one of my moms the other day, and she said, what's making it so bad is now it's some of the people on the good side that started doing fuck shit too. And she's not lying. Some of the shit I've witnessed within this community, I mean, hey, do you, boo? Do you? If that's what you like doing, do you? But some of y'all ain't shit. I'm gonna be honest, y'all ain't. And y'all know who y'all talking about. Y'all know exactly who I'm talking to. All that wishy-washy ass shit, back and forth. Like, man, give me the evidence and I'll go with that narrative all day long. Until then, shut the fuck up. Especially your flip flop days. But, well, so we got a win, but we didn't get a win. It's kind of a slap in the face, but it's kind of not slap. I mean, at the end of the day, it's conviction. The family is happy. So I'm not going to say I'm just not happy. If the family is happy with this outcome, then so be it. I wish that jury would have did more, but once again, I don't know what was in those long ass jury instructions. I don't know what made them think that, well, they didn't violate his rights. I don't know. I wasn't there and I wasn't a part of the trial, so I can't say what, I don't know. But I'm hoping with state. I hope and pray. I don't know with Tennessee, like I said, I'm a realist too, and I'm realistic. It was to appease us so we wouldn't burn this motherfucker down. I hope that they do come up with this second degree murder charge. But I also know how the state of Tennessee and the city of Memphis is, and also with this civil lawsuit now that Ben Crump he's filing, which I figured he was going to do, because once you get a conviction, man, you need to hop on that civil lawsuit as fast as you can, because at this point, I mean, now 550 million, I don't think that's going to happen. The city of Memphis will literally go bankrupt from that. I think they will get a payout, but not 550 million. So, but I gotta feed my babies. I gotta feed myself. Hell, I still gotta get in the shower. I ain't took a shower after I got my hair. Like I said, today's been one hell of a day. I don't know what the fuck was. I don't know what was up with today. I don't know. Hopefully tomorrow's better. Well, you know what? I'm gonna say tomorrow is gonna be better. Let's go ahead and put that out in the universe. Tomorrow's gonna be better. But I appreciate y'all spending time with me tonight. I'm surprised I was able to get through this without crying like a bitch. And that's God's honest truth. And let's hope Monday that they asses stay behind bars, because let it be me, y'all family members, y'all know. Y'all fucking know. If it was any of us that got convicted of that shit, we would be behind bars until sentencing day. Y'all know this. But with them being police officers, they might get special treatment. So who knows? But I appreciate y'all being with me tonight. Make sure y'all smash that like button. If we have anything developed, y'all know I'll probably go live. There's been other things I need to go live about, so I may do that this weekend, get some stuff together. FYI, me and Dutch, we have been talking. Me and her is supposed to get together this weekend. We will be doing a joint live together sometime coming up. Of course, we will let y'all know to highlight and cover the missing kids and people in this state. So if you're available, whenever me and Dutch get the time and date figured out, we'll let y'all know. But make sure y'all tune in because it's like I told Dutch, everybody deserves to be found. So, but we are planning a live for Tennessee Missing. I know we've been talking about that for a couple months, but I finally did. I got my shit together and reached out to Dutch. So, but y'all know Dutch got life shit going on too. So I'm trying to be, we're trying to coordinate on each other's schedule. So, but make sure y'all keep an eye on that. And like I said, I have a few other things I want to highlight and touch. There's a few other cases I've been following that I want to touch when we get to the state trial. Y'all know I will give y'all updates left and right like I did daily with this trial. But let's pray for better days. Let's hope and pray the state gets it right versus the Fed trial. And let's hope these motherfuckers get sent away for a long time, as they should. Nobody should be a get. Nobody, unless it was self-defense, which it wasn't. Nobody should get away with murder. So, I love y'all. Thank y'all for spending time with me tonight. Like I said, make sure y'all smash that like button. Leave a comment. I appreciate y'all, each and one of y'all. So thank you. Y'all have a good night. Peace.